Hi, I'm Chanel. I'm a mother of 3 kids. One's called Lily, the other one is called Michaela, and the third one is called Michael. Michael is the only boy in my family, and I run a very, very intelligent business. My husband divorced me when I was younger, and when we first got married, he got annoyed with the business that I was growing and how much population I'd been just doing, and everyone used to surround me and no one gave attention to my husband. So, 2 days after he divorced, I went to go check up because I kept vomiting in the morning, and I found out that I was pregnant with triplets. It was hard for me to give birth to them, but eventually it happened. When I was the age of 30, I got something called a rare disease. It was something super bad that I never had before. It's called eyesight a coma. It's whenever I sleep, I have a dream where I can see through people's minds and I can do anything I want in my world, basically. I love the disease, but it could be deadly because if I die in my dream, which I usually do that, I would basically die in real life. Whatever I do, it happens in real life, but no one's there. It's like a ghost pulling something down from the shelf and telling us something. But I did that and I didn't do anything bothered about it. I did some crazy stuff. One day when I was walking, I tripped over and I hit my head really, really hard. But luckily I didn't feel any pain because obviously I was in my dream, but when I woke up, blood was streaming down. I screamed and 3 of my children came running in and one had a phone in their hand. Should I call the police? Should I call the police? The ambulance? What do you want me to call? Honey, just leave it. Go away, kids, please. I'm trying to sleep. But you screamed. Yeah, you screamed and we were so terrified. They all yelled at me. Ugh, we woke up for no reason. I told them to go, so they left, but I still had the urge to go to the bathroom and wash myself off. I knew something bad was happening. Police arrived at my door knocking. It was a girl this time. Ma'am, your kid rung the phone to tell me something. Oh my gosh, your head. They brought me straight to the hospital. Oh, I was so annoyed with her. Well, my kids got taken away for a couple months until I was recovered. When I was laying in the bed and I was waiting for a nurse to come and treat me, all of a sudden the lights shut down and everyone was screaming. I saw children running and they were floating. And they were my children. I screamed for help. I pressed the button as many times as I could until someone came. At last, someone came, the beautifulest doctor I've ever seen. I meant nurse, but yeah. She came to treat me with the medicine and asked me what was wrong. I told her the lights were going off and on and my children are floating in the air. She looked out the window, but nothing was there. I must have been in my eye coma thing. Ma'am, we're going to have to put you under surgery to find out what's going on. So what she did was she put one of those things over your mouth that gives you oxygen and gave me a needle so I could go to sleep. Apparently my kids were there. The doctors didn't see. My kids banged into the window and I woke up during the surgery. I started moving my legs as the doctors were so confused. The doctors called the nurse, that beautiful nurse, again to come in and treat me. She did it again, but she saw the kids this time. Help! Help! B33! B33! She yelled. I was so confused. I didn't really care about what was happening right now. I just cared about myself getting treated, so I fell asleep. When I woke up, my kids were all surrounding me. Flying from the sky, falling on me. Mom, you're fine. Mom, you scared us half to death. Why didn't you tell us to call the police in the first time? I was so confused. I was smiling. But that was all a dream. They actually weren't there. The doctors just then treated me again and put the more medicine. The more medicine, the badder my body is. But that nurse was just a starters, and she put way too much in. I fell into a deep, deep sleep for about 5 months. When I woke up, I got taken out of the hospital by my mum. Honey, you're okay. Where's your children? I don't know. I'm kind of really tired. I just want to go home now. I don't care about them. My mum gasped as dropping me on the floor. She ran out of the hospital, leaving me dead on the floor. I wasn't dead, but I felt like it. I hurt my arm so bad I think I might have sprained it. But I called for help. People came surrounding me and doctors came to take me. When they took me, they placed me on a bed with a nice comfy pillow. They told me it's going to be alright. You might have twisted your arm and it was twisted fully. We're going to have to do surgery immediately or else it will stay. My best friend, Sally, came to comfort me and was very nice to me and read books to me. She did so much things when I was in my sleeping. Even though I couldn't hear her, I knew she was doing it because the doctors told me. After that, I was then out of the hospital, walking free. I had nothing else and no choice to do rather than looking for my kids. But the doctors told me to go straight home and go to sleep. Bring your phone near and put us on loudspeaker. So I was on loudspeaker with the doctors all night. It was so weird hearing me snore. I stopped snoring and I fell into my eye thing and all the doctors came rushing. I woke up saying, it's fine. I have this rare disease called eye. And I told them. And they were so confused about that disease, so they asked for my allowance, of course, if they could do surgery on me. They did. They put me in the bed and obviously did the surgery. The doctors were screaming like crazy. What type of disease is this? I know, there's nothing else we can do rather than treat it or take it away. I then woke up and I'm like, what? Don't take it away. It's the best thing I could have. But you know, it's deadly, she said in a great accent. She was a pretty girl. I haven't heard her talk since, I don't know. And I didn't notice she had a beautiful accent. Please, don't take it away. I know it's deadly, but I'm sure to be okay from it. But I did kind of hurt my head the other day. Is there any type of treatment that can make it more safer? Well, there is one treatment, the nurse said. But it would only take away, so you can take away time of how long you can only be in that area from. How much time can I put it in for? You can rather put it in for 1 hour. 1 hour is fine. They sleep for more than 1 hour, so how about 2? 2 then. I decided 2 hours would be enough because I knew something wrong would happen in around about 3 hours. So in my dreams, I usually did some groceries and basically did nothing else rather than looking for my kids the next day. The next day, my friend came running to me, asking me for her permission if she could do her hair. Obviously, I had to say yes. Yes, you can. She did my hair and styled it the way, but it was so special I didn't know what was wrong with it. She yelled at me, it's going to be perfect. She left for a long while and I never saw her after that. But then one of my kids' friends came knocking at my door. I opened it to be surprised when she was alone. She had no parents and she was crying. You're finally there! She ran to me, "Mum, Mum," yelling. I was so confused. Was I in my dream? I didn't know how to tell, so I just said, "Honey, do you know where my kids are?" "Yeah, here. I'm your only child, remember?" I was so confused. Did I go into a coma thing? No, he never went to the hospital. Pinch me as hard as you can then. She pinched me. It hurt a lot, more than what I expected. I was so upset. I thought I had 3 children. But actually I was talking to a ghost. I was talking to a brick wall. Next day I was walking through the halls of my room and I heard kids playing. I was so confused. My kids aren't home. Where are they? Where would they be? I walked up to the rooms to notice something so weird. My kids were there playing. "Morning, Mum. You went for a long, deep sleep. And we skipped 2 days of school." "Yeah, it's the best." Even the older sibling was playing. Ha 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 ha. They were playing it. She didn't even mention how we skipped school twice. "Right, that's it. What time is it?" "Don't you know? You've been up on your phone all night," my child said. He told me a bunch of things that wasn't true, like I've been on my phone all night, texting random guys. No, it wasn't. My oldest child was super smart rather than those kids. She wouldn't even dare to say this. "Go check for yourself. Just let us play." They were playing and someone knocked at the door. My child ran to the door. No, don't grab it." He reached for the door. Someone pulled him out. "Ag! Yeah!" My children screamed. And I ran to chase him. I called the police. The police caught him and bring him back. We didn't go to school for a couple days after. Even though the school has been contacting us, it didn't really matter. Even though they were losing knowledge, we needed to figure out something. When my kids' friends came over to play, there was only one. And she was the kindest one there. She always made the kids feel safe at home, around me and all that stuff. Well, I went to go check my phone for the first time. In fact, I was texting random guys. "Hey, cutie." The first text I texted a random guy on the internet. "You want to date sometime?" He answered, "Yeah, sure, but where should we meet?" I never texted after that. And I texted a bunch of random guys after him. He kept texting me, Babe, are we babes now? Huh? Please take me back. Are you okay? I'm calling the police." And that's why the police took my children away. Chased my child away. 2 extra police came then. So after all that matter, I homeschooled my children. They didn't feel safe. And even my kids' friends never came after that. They all yelled at me. "This is all your fault." "Yeah, you don't even let us go to school and play with our friends anymore. Why, are you so scared?" "Ugh, can't I just go to college now? My friends have been missing me and they hate when I have days off every day." I was threatened by all their comments. "Fine, go to school, pack your bags. You have to figure out what school you're going to." I was so mad at them. My kids were running around the house so confused. They skipped a day then, and the school contacted me. I answered, and guess what they said? "You know your kids haven't been gone to school. They're moving down a level at this instant." "No, it's something bad. I'll tell you. I went into a coma for a few days." She yelled, "What? No, you were alive. I heard you on the news. You were running down the stairs." It was kind of a weird thing that was happening to me. I was always careful and all kind, but I then fell and might have twisted my arm. It hurt for a couple days. That's why. I told my kids to stop running around. You didn't have to go to school, homeschooling you, because you moved down a level from not just skipping class. When the older sibling got blamed for because I know it's not right to blame a child, but She knew where the school was, and she deliberately asked every single day that she's not feeling well. I'm the queen of getting days off, she said to me. You're going to school and no tantrum. If you throw up today, I'm not picking you up. I'm going to have to say you're busy. You're going to have to stay at school for the rest of the day on a device. She yelled at me, huh, fat rat? What did you call me? I put her into quantity. Well, I meant in room lockdown for a while. But these two kids were so bored without her. Mom, when is Sissy coming out to play with us? She does all the fun and games. That's when I noticed that she was the one who was making all the fun and games. Not making all the racket. She was the one. I let her out and apologized, and she left. And I've never seen her ever since. I only have seen her once with a guy and kids following her around and pulling her and calling her mummy. Once I ran up to her and asked her what has been going on. It's been years since I've seen her. Mum, go away. I'm not part of your family. I broke up. I got into a scholarship of school and you never let me went. Oh, she was speaking nonsense. I didn't even know what she was saying. Ugh, I just kept on walking, but I followed her every single day. I got her where she was going. I got all of that stuff. When my kids, they are now 13, and they asked me to have a credit card and a phone. I said yes, and that's when they left me for a while and moved into their own houses. It's too young, and that's my story.